Good morning, everyone. I've been meaning to put this video together for the past week, but I don't know. It's just been bonkers. Anyway, welcome to my gym that used to be a kid's bedroom with hand-painted dinosaurs and fish on the walls. But anyway, I laid out all of my Summit Night gear on the ground, and I'm just going to show you what I wore on Summit Night. And I have to get my kids to school in 8 minutes. So we're going to go through this very quickly, but I'm around if you have any questions after. So we'll start with what I wore as on the bottom. So on the bottom, I had a pair of long underwear. I had a sports bra. I don't wear underwear when I wear long underwear because why double up? And then I had just a base layer top. I had a pair of ski socks. These are downhill ski socks. I'm mostly a cross-country skier. I chose downhill ski socks that have kind of a little more padding on the shin because I knew that coming down off the mountain on Summit Night, I might push my hiking boots would push against my shin. So I wanted a little more padding with a downhill ski sock. It's also a little thicker and warmer than a cross-country ski sock. And then I wore, this is a pair of cross-country ski pants from Swix, one of my favorite brands, but they're quilted in the front, but in the back, they're not quilted. So they provide a lot of warmth in the front as you're walking into the wind. They also can zip on and off, a full-length zipper on both of those sides. So those were my bottom pants of choice. And then I started Summit Night at base camp with, this is just a North Face lightweight kind of puffy parka thing. That, and then I had just a lightweight hat, and I went with a lightweight hat instead of a heavier duty hat because I like to pull a hood up over, and if I have a lighter hat on, then a hood fits easier. Like if you have something without a big ball on top or something that's a little more sleek and svelte instead of something that's bigger. I did have a bigger hat that I wore at camp. And then I wore just gloves when I started off at base camp. These are just like Hestra cross-country ski gloves. And then I had a buff, and then I wore gaiters. These are horrible snowshoe gaiters, and I hated them. So these are not going this year, but that's what I wore. And then, of course, my headlamp. And then I had my phone and ear pods in my pocket. So that is what, oh, and boots. My boots. There's my boots. So that is what I was wearing when I left Barafu, which is base camp, the final camp before the summit push. And that was fine. As we were hiking and climbing in altitude, the weather got colder. So I'm going to flip around here and show you what I had on my backpack and then what I put on throughout. Oh, look at that nice, beautiful sunshine. What I put on throughout the hike when we stopped. So the first layer that I added as we gained elevation was just this gigantic down jacket. This is really beefy, really warm. It's like wearing a sleeping bag. So that was nice on my torso. At one point, my legs did start to get pretty cold. So I thought I would just put on my rain pants. I put on my rain pants, but I put them on backwards. And I didn't have time to switch them around. So then I just took them off. Our guides really wanted us to have very short stops. As we were hiking on Summit Night, they didn't want to have us stop and rest for very long. They just wanted to keep us moving so we would stay warm. So whatever extra layers you bring to add as we hike on Summit Night, just make sure there's something that you can take on and off very quickly. These rain pants don't have a full zipper on the side, which if I were to get another pair of rain pants, I would just get ones that have a full zipper on the sides. I rarely wear rain pants, so these will come with me again this year, but they're just not something I want to spend any more money on because it's not like something I wear. The other thing I added was mittens. Just some Hestra mittens here. These are kind of a lighter weight mitten. I tend to run very warm and I live in a cold place at 7,000 feet. So if you're someone who gets cold easily, you might want a beefier pair of mittens, or Okay, that video got cut off just as I was talking about my mittens and how I run kind of warm. So if you're someone who gets cold easily, maybe a beefier pair of mittens. And then I also brought along these glasses. They kind of have an amber tinted lens that I was going to wear on summit night in case the wind was blowing into my eyes. I ended up lending these out to someone, so I didn't wear them, but I'm going to bring them again this year. In my backpack, this is important. So in my day pack, our guides carried our packs for us on summit night. They wanted to maximize our chances of success on the summit. And so we each had our own guide, and our guides carried our backpacks for us. So of course I had 3 liters of water in my backpack. I had micro spikes, which we didn't need, but I brought, our guides weren't sure what the snow situation was going to be like on the summit, so we all had micro spikes just in case. And then I also had a little bag with my medications, so Dimox, some anti-nausea meds for altitude, and then sunglasses, because once the sun came over the mountain, it was super bright. And then I brought a hat to wear. I also had a headband just in case I wanted something different than a hat. I just wanted to be able to switch out to a headband. I will say that coming off the mountain on summit night, like once the sun came over the peak and once we stopped climbing, as we were descending, it got really hot. So then it was a lot of taking off layers, and I was glad I had like some extra sun protection. Okay, so that was what I wore on summit night. This is gonna be the changes that I'm going to make for summit night this year. The first is I hate those gaiters, so I have a different pair of gaiters. I didn't like those gaiters because they were pretty loose on my leg and they just kept swishing as I was walking. So these gaiters are just a little bit tighter, and I'm not sure if I love them yet. I might try out some more pairs, but they're just gaiters that I've had for 20 years and never wear. The other thing is I'm going to switch out my base layer for a base layer with a zip up top, just for a little more warmth on my neck. And instead of trying to navigate rain pants if I get cold legs, I'm just going to bring a down skirt. This is a scoop insulated skirt. Keeps your bum warm. A lot of, I don't know, I love down skirts. Some people don't, but that's what I'm going to wear. And then finally, I've been testing out these heated insoles. I wore these this winter at my kids' cross-country ski races and skiing, downhill skiing a few times, and they really did a good job of keeping my feet warm. They're kind of annoying because they have to operate with this little keychain thing and you have to charge them. But I did get cold feet on summit night, and I don't want to double up on socks, so I'm excited about heated insoles. So anyway, that's summit night, pretty much what I wore, what I took, and the changes that I'm making this year. I can also put this into like a PDF, or I'll add it to the packing list or something. I've got to get my kids to school, and then I'm going to go for a hike, and